So what I didn't say is that I lost my daughter to fentanyl, and she was human trafficked, drug mule, but she had started with an illness. She had an illness, the doctors created her to be an addict, and then somebody on the street gave her drugs. We got no help with the policing and officials when I reached out, and so my biggest thing is DOJ needs help. So, you know, how would you see this, like, for instance, if you were in that position, you could change the laws and you could be an advocate for people. We need change, and grandparents now are raising their grandchildren. Like, I'm raising grandchildren. My grandbabies get no funding. They get nothing. But everybody that's coming here gets massive funding. How could we change that? How would you address that? How would you help the typical family? Because there's a lot of grandparents raising their kids after their children have been killed by fentanyl. And the other thing that a lot of people don't know about is that when somebody gives the statistics, this many has been killed with fentanyl, probably 50% of them they deem as accidents or something else. They are not calling them illicit drug. They're not calling it a homicide. They're calling it an accident. Those numbers are completely off. It's like a 747 crashing every day. But we have no meaning on it. So what would you do for that?
First off, I'm genuinely very sorry for the loss of your daughter. And I'm, in addition to that, human trafficking, because drug trafficking leads to human trafficking, and that you lost her before you lost her is even harder to deal with at times. So I'm sorry that you have to hear that. One day, when we were out door knocking, in one community in Riverside, I met two different mothers that lost their adult children to fentanyl in one day. And so it's not someone else's problem. It is the #1 killer of men in my age group, 18 to 45. And so to act like we are not at war with the drug cartels, and that China, who imports 90% of our prescription drugs, isn't a major contributor, it's asinine. And so we have to get control of our borders. And second, the Governor Newsom, every governor before him met quarterly with the 58 elected sheriffs in our counties. How many times do you think Governor Newsom has met with our 58 elected sheriffs? Zero. And so we need to start keeping our ear to the ground. We need to support DAs and sheriffs that are going to be harsh with these things. And quite honestly, we need to start implementing the death penalty for fentanyl dealers. Listen, marijuana, I have no problem with marijuana. I'm a very live and let live person. I'm smoke marijuana. You know, it's shock, a Republican who smokes marijuana. But you know, it's like a purple unicorn flying outside. But cocaine, meth, heroin, fentanyl, and PCP have no room in our streets, in our schools, and in our households. And so we need to develop a zero tolerance approach to these sort of things. And you know, like what the DA did. You know, the first time it is a felony. The second time you're not getting out. You're tried for murder. And when we make an example out of a few people, so that these things will start cleaning themselves up. And we have to make some examples out of some people, because we're losing about 100,000 people a year to fentanyl, correct me if I'm wrong?
A little more than that.
A little more than 100,000 people a year. So that's where I stand.